what's going on, guys? This is Miasin. So I'm actually going to be doing a pretty interesting video today. It's going to be the combination of combo video and deck profile at once. So if you guys are more interested in these kind of videos instead of separating the combos from the deck profiles and testing, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And if I see that enough people are interested, that might start becoming the new trend from now on. So before you start, you already know it. Friendly reminder to like and subscribe. It motivates me so much to keep making videos like these. And now let's actually jump right into it. So combo number one is just going to be the bread and butter combo, basically, that allows you to play around Nibiru by actually summoning Crystal Wing on summon number 5. Nothing new, but it's just a friendly reminder because sometimes people actually just forget, and that's okay. I don't want this video to only showcase the new combo and that's it. But Skylark Dragon is definitely a really scary card that I do believe will have a tremendous impact on the metagame, and even though it might not be the main game 1 play that you're going to do, it's still going to change how virtual world decks will be played. So as you can see, this actually ends on Crystal Wing, Dragoon, and Chuchi, which is amazing, but that is absolutely nothing. Let's get into combo number 2. Alright, so this time, just with a Kowloon, a Lulu, and any discard, look at what you can do. The issue is that it doesn't actually play around Nibiru, but I don't think this is a bad thing because the thing is, on game 1, your deck has a 0% chance to lose to Nibiru, since if you decide to go for the Dragoon Crystal Wing combo, Crystal Wing is always summon number 5, so you don't have to be afraid of that. Whereas if you actually choose to go for this combo, you can actually do it on game 2 and game 3 only, in which case obviously your opponent is going to side out Nibiru, because why would you keep in a card like Nibiru, which is unplayable against all the main combos that Virtual World have access to? Like I said, either the combo that makes Crystal Wing early, or just Shen Shen control with Chuchi and hand traps. So obviously not going to be too great, and as you were able to see, there's nothing very spicy or interesting with this. It's only that you're going Beatrice to Foolish for any monster, basically from your, well, it's technically any card, and this is going to come up later on. But yeah, you can Beatrice for any card, and then your Skylark during the opponent's standby phase. Technically, it triggers during both standby phases, but I digress, and this is kind of irrelevant for now. During your opponent's standby phase, you're going to revive back the Fossil Dyna. It has to be a level 5 or lower, so there's Fossil Dyna and Spell Canceller, but also some other cards that you can revive back as Floodgates. And now your opponent is basically under a soft lock of no special summoning, and also the Chuchi to pop their normal summon that would try to threaten the card like a Fossil Dyna. So pretty devastating, and this is very easy to, you know, get access to. So now let's get into combo number 3, which is pretty similar, but still there is kind of a small difference. Alright, so this time this is actually if you draw the card that you're trying to Foolish with Beatrice, the combo is ironically better. And a lot of people might be thinking, well, this doesn't change anything competitively because you now have to start playing bricks in your deck, but ironically that is 1,000,000,000% incorrect. You don't actually have to play any bricks because you're only siding them in going first when you know you're going first, whereas on your game 1 you know for a fact that you might actually not have access to these cards, so why would you risk it and have a 50% chance of breaking with these cards? So definitely what the game plan should actually be. See, a lot of people who are just way too obsessed with always making their deck like win more on game 1, and then they lose game 1, and then obviously consequently they're also going to lose game 2. But yeah, you're going to do Shen Shen this time. You can actually basically skip the part where you make Beatrice, and now, well, you know, since King Long and Zwanhu both have to discard, there is obviously no bad, you know, negative impact of drawing the card that you're trying to Foolish. If anything, it's even better because instead of making a Beatrice, you make Shen Shen. So pretty nice. Now that this is out of the way, let's get into the deck profile. Alright, so for the deck profile, almost nothing has changed. I'm still playing 15 Virtual World monsters. No 2/2, but you could definitely play 1/2/2. You could either add it as the 16 monster or cut the third Nyan Nyan and then play it. It actually does allow you to play through Artifact Lancia a bit, but I don't necessarily think it's needed. It is quite respectable though. And for the hand trap lineup, I'm trying to max out the amount of hand traps that I can play while still having some board breaking cards. So I honestly want to say that this deck list is pretty much borderline as optimal as it gets, like consistency and power wise, because obviously they're inverse proportionate. So if you actually want to increase consistency as much as possible by adding cards like Foolish Burial Goods and more copies of pots like Pot of Prosperity and stuff, is obviously going to make it so you can't play as many board breaking cards like Tactic Talents, Duster, Called by the Grave, and obviously the hand trap. So I don't necessarily think it's the best trade-off. I think what I'm doing right now is pretty good, and this deck is already quite consistent. You only need really 2 cards to play, and you don't always have to go for the full combo. You can just go Shen Shen Pass, like I said, with you know, Chuchi and stuff like that, and hand traps. So that's pretty nice. Obviously playing Duster, so I don't really lose to annoying like Floodgate decks on game 1. You could actually play Cyclone too, or I don't know, play something else instead, but I kind of like the Duster. Called by the Grave, Emergency Teleport, kind of self-explanatory, so I'm not really going to waste too much time with that. Triple Kowloon, of course. Double Talents, now this is interesting. You're playing Desires and you're not playing Pot of Prosperity, so you can always use the effect to draw 2 cards, whereas if you had the Pot of Prosperity access and you used it, and then you had 3 Tactical Talents, you wouldn't be able to draw cards, so you would be forced to use the effect to look at your opponent's hand and make them lose 1 card, or the effect to steal a monster, which is relevant because it doesn't actually target, so you can steal stuff like Dragoon. But the issue is that, well, the thing is, when you steal Dragoon, what are you really going to do with that Dragoon? You have to tribute summon over it, otherwise your opponent is going to get it back on the end phase, except if you just kill them, obviously, then there's not going to be any end phase, but yeah, I don't know, I think this is a pretty good configuration. And then obviously triple Desires, triple King Long, triple Chuche, and 1 Zhuanghu. You can actually cut down Chuche to 2. That is definitely something that you can do. Haha, that rhymed, LMAO. Anyways, extra deck. Dragoon of Red Eyes, of course. This is not summoned via Predaplant Anaconda, so you don't have to worry too much about the bricks. This is obviously summoned off of Muddy Muddragon. I showcased this on combo number 1, so you shouldn't be like traumatized or something. Ultimate Sulkin, this is the way you make Crystal Wing, because obviously, as you can see, it's a level 8 monster, and all of our monster levels are odd, so there is no way for us to summon something that is even level, unless you get hit by Mischief of the Gnomes or something sketch, but besides, you would need like a non-tuner Synchro, so Stardust Charge Warrior and just way too many steps, it's obviously not ideal. And yeah, we then play Vermilion Dragon Mech, and then Juju. This is a pretty good card at stalling, well, I mean, surviving on the game, not like stalling for time and being like, oh, thinking for 10 years, oh, time has been cut, what a coincidence, I didn't know, bro. And then you proceed to make like Blackwing Nothong, burn 600 and or 8 or 800 something, and then you win free game. But now we're not we're not going to be rats today. Not today, maybe tomorrow, but nah, just kidding, even tomorrow, no. Yeah. Anyway, Squirrel Dragon, Stardust Charge Warrior, I guess you can keep drawing cards, and they also have other effects, so you can, this is like an Ashura Priest, you can attack over all of your monsters your opponent control, kind of like a worse Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, especially since it only has 2k attack. And then Cruel Dragon, you can discard a card and destroy a card your opponent controls. And this is a tuner, and this is a non-tuner, so in theory you can even make Soulkin with these guys and then draw like 2 cards in theory, because this is leaving the field and then this is summon, so draw 1 card. But yeah. Anyways, Muddy Muddragon, Zeus, obviously you're playing a bunch of Xyz, Ptolemy M7, there's also a combo where Beatrice can send Ash and then you can recycle back with Ptolemy M7, but most of the time you want to go like Beatrice to send these kind of floodgates so you can revive them back with Perrin, the Skylord Dragon. Then obviously there's going to be the Fan and the Fortune Tune. You can also try to fit in the Break Sword. There's kind of a reason to play Bamboozling. There was a reason to play Bamboozling, before, but no longer is the case because it negates and doesn't destroy, so your opponent actually keeps the Gamma and keeps the Nibiru, which is not the best way to go. So yeah, I wouldn't really recommend playing Bamboozling at all, but Breaksword is a respectable one. Anyways, for the idea section and all the cards that you can actually fit, like Foolish with Beatrice, the first one obviously being Artifact Scythe, as well as Artifact Lancia. You have access to both of them. With Spell Canceller, Fossil Dyna, Farfa is a cute one, I guess, shoutouts to Farfa. And then Ally of Justice Cycle Reader is another card that you Foolish. You actually Foolish for Orchestrated Crescendo instead, and then you actually search Ally of Justice Cycle Reader from your deck to your hand, so if you're playing against something like Drytron, that is the kind of play that you can do. And obviously, you know, drawing Crescendo is actually a great thing because it's a great discard for the King Long, and then you don't have to go into Beatrice. You can start making other plays instead, make the Shen Shen, etc. So the combination of Shen Shen and Ally of Justice Cycle Reader kind of feels like a Macrocosmos on crack. But yeah, and then there's obviously Banshee and Zombie World. Absolutely insane, man. You can Beatrice not only to send Fossil Dyna and Spell Canceller, but on your opponent's turn, you send the Banshee and you activate Zombie World on top. That's insane. Imagine dinosaurs dealing with that. So they can't Dark Ruler no more you if you have Spell Canceller. They can't do anything with their dinosaur plays. Miscellaneous Zoroark does not protect them. They're like at no plays. There is nothing that they can do, so it's devastating. And yeah, no, Zombie World is just a good floodgate. Expect to see a video, you know, kind of comparing Zombie World and DNA Surgery against the meta today. It will be released at 5 p.m. EST, so yeah, definitely keep an eye out on that. Anyways, there's also Mischief of the Gnomes against the Virtual World Mirror, so Beatrice is just broken, man. It allows you to send so many cards that hurt so many decks. Just look at all of that. I really hope you guys were able to actually learn some new things with how this deck actually functions, because a lot of these I actually didn't know before I started making some research myself, so pretty nice. And then Xiaofeng, Cloud Castle, and Phantom Fortress under Blatnir. I guess this is kind of like as a package, but I wanted to fit in the extra deck space for Beatrice with Skylark, and also kind of still play the Coral Dragon and Stardust Charge Warrior, because otherwise I wouldn't have enough rank level 6 synchros, but I definitely could be wrong. Maybe Xiaofeng, Xiaofeng definitely not, but maybe these guys could actually still kind of have a good reason to exist, but yeah. Anyways, Foolish Goods and Pot of Prosperity. Like I said, if you want more extra consistency, but this deck is already quite respectable and consistent as it is, so yeah, that's all I had to say and showcase for this beautiful Virtual World combo video and deck profile. If you guys have any comments or feedback, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because it motivates me so much to keep making videos like these. And that is pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace!